Alright, so today there is a public test for the new Mechlab layout. So this is going to be my first impressions on it. And let's flip on over to the Mechlab. Okay. That's interesting. So they've changed the loadout. Instead of having click loadout and then click a section to bring up that section, now there's these tabs that you can just go through for the different sections of your mech. But I've also taken a look at all this, but you could also change the layout over here from this column mode, which is probably going to be for people who have very small monitors, who are say stuck at 4:3 resolution. They don't have this 16:10 to work with. You can go expanded, and this is what everybody's just looking for, is the Smurfy style layout, and this looks great. So I can take something off. I can take, heat sinks off my mech there. I can then grab this. Oh, and you see it's flashing. That means I can place it in that slot. So you can drag and drop from different components into each other. Oh, that's excellent. You can change armor values wherever you want. And we got a nice big tonnage indicator up there. So we can see, let's add this stuff back in. So let's see. Weapons. Do we have a specific weapon here? Come on. Ah, okay, so that was clicked. So that was turning the lasers off. So there's different types. Let's say, let's go omnipods. Oh, that's a nice little layout for the omnipod. So let's change the arm to one that has a missile. And that goes onto the right arm. So we go back to our weapons. We can see now that we can see the missiles. We can click that, and it comes up with all of our missile weapons. And nicely, we can click our owned weapons. So we can see only the ones that we currently have in stock. That's cool. So we can say put on that streak 4, and then we're going to get the warning that we have no streak ammo, and the warning is ammo warning. That's pretty cool. If we take that off, that warning goes away. But let's say there's a strip mech button. Oh, down here on the bottom right, we can strip everything off. Let's go strip all the equipment. And we can also bring up the mech stats. It gives us a nice look at it. That's cool. So if we put on, say, a 3 RPPCs, can we fit it? We're going to get a warning, and it's going to be a heat warning. So that'll be our alpha heat, our heat scaling. Oh, awesome. So, let's see, different omnipods. Super easy to see the hard points, the cost, and such, all laid out. I thoroughly like that. Then we can hit back to reset mech, undo the changes, and we're back at my 5 medium pulse design that I had on it before. So that is excellent. But this isn't Omni Mech, so we have these omnipods, and we can switch them around. Let's look at a inner sphere mech, so we can look at how we can change the engine around. So this is the new mech select, and you can go into here to change your mechs. It's similar to the mech select that is currently in the game right now. I don't really like how this is laid out, in the sense where you have to find it and scroll through and click on it. I kind of like seeing when you click into Mechlab, instead of just immediately going to this mech in particular, that you have all your mechs shown and all their things. You can click that one and go into it, sort of thing. I definitely don't give a feeling of how many mechs I own. I have this one, and I need to look into here. I can see I've got a bunch, but I don't feel like I have that sort of lineup or a garage of it, which may change. This is, of course, the first test. So let's go in. We'll go into the Griffin. We'll go into my Griffin, my Phoenix variant here. We'll save that as our mech select, and we'll go back into the Mechlab, and we can see all of its stuff. We can go between the layout and the column if we needed to, but we can stay in the layout. So, so this is cool. what you can do is you have a selector. So if you, let me just strip the mech here real quick. Click strip mech, strip all the equipment off. We have no engine equipped, 0 tons. That's really interesting. And then, and also, any of the mouse overs right now say chat only to unit officers. So I'm assuming that's going to change. And we get another warning up there. No engines, no valid weapons. Awesome. So we click this up. We start at a 110. So we can change that around. We can click through and up the engine in increments. This is going to be really nice when you're experimenting. You're trying to find a specific build you want to run. And you can just be like, oh, but what if I drop the engine by 5 points? You know what I mean? And, okay, no, that works. What if it was an XL? Oh, I just have to press a button. You don't have to scroll through your list of engines that are miles and miles long and pick out each one of those specific ones. We can turn on all the thing here. We can turn off different groups. That's nice. We can turn off lerms. Who needs lerms? You never run lerms. We just want SERMs on this mech. Then we can load them on. Load on the SRMs. We're getting the warning that we don't have any ammo. So if we go to ammo, we can get ammo for only the mounted weapons. That's awesome. There's no more times you're going to be putting on streak ammo when you are running SRMs, regular SRMs, or putting on regular SRM ammo when you're running streaks. This little button here, this makes me very happy. And again, you can also set it to owned items. Equipment here, you can see, we can put our jump jets on, and then you can see as I hold the jump jet, I see every spot that I could possibly put it, the legs, the torsos, as flashing. So that way I know, oh, I can only put a jump jet in those spots, and then I can drop it into those spots. That is excellent. And it looks like we can just toggle back and forth between single and double heat sinks and all of our things here. So we're getting minus 14 slots, but we're gaining 2.75 tons. So we go back to there. It doesn't show that anymore. We can take on and off missile guidance. That doesn't change the SRMs, because how they changed it in the past, where an Artemis SRM 6 was actually a separate entity to a normal SRM 6. Possibly that may be something they want to change back to just being you have an SRM 6, and then whether or not it has Artemis is related to the mech that it's equipped on, because as we can see here, as we switch back and forth, the ammo is changing type. And that's very nice that you can change your ammo type. It'd also be very nice if any SRMs you equipped would also change their type, so that when it would have been like this, and then when you clicked back, it would have put the Artemis SRM versions in there if there was space, and then this would basically say, no, you cannot hit this button because you don't have space for your SRMs. And that would be one change I would make there. But both of these, very easy to use, very easy to flip back and forth and set things up on. Awesome. So, what else do we got in here? Let's look at these mech stats. What we got? We have our tonnage, our number of slots we have available. That's really awesome. Our total armor, our heat management, 0 out of 2. That's because we don't have a gun equipped. It won't give us our proper statistic there. Now 2 out of 2. Because we now have our Artemists set up. Ooh. So this is a symbol here. This double arrow means that if you put one on, you're going to have to exchange with a weapon that you're already on, because you don't have this room for it. And then that stop symbol is that you just don't have the room to put that weapon on. So we'll just equip what our load was on there before, 3 SRM 6s and 3 medium lasers. We can see our heat management of 1.19. We got our firepower. 250 is a stupid high firepower. Really, they should just remove that number and just have firepower 53.7. Have that as a base number, just like your speed. Speed, you got there. Your jump distance, 6.9 out of 48. 2.8. We got all of our different angles and all these graphs, and that's awesome stuff. Our loadout, our hard points. One thing that'd be good to see on here is your number of heat sinks and all that kind of stuff. All of our quirks. That's awesome. And we can just diminish that down. And then we can hit our reset mech. Yes, we want to undo. Put it back to the design I had previously. And we can go to engines, and we can see what engines we do own. We can drag and drop from here if we wanted to, but we can also just use this handy dandy little adjuster there. And then can we put in a heatsink directly? No, we gotta drag and drop in like that. And it's a little sensitive in case of where you drop it. So instead of just say dropping it on the engine and it going into the slot, you have to drag it to the specific slot. So that's a little annoying. Like if I took off this jump jet, just for example, and I was going to drag this on, I can't just drop it on the left torso here. I can't just drop it on the equipment that's already there, sort of thing. See, if I drop it on the AMS unit, it replaces it. What I have to do is, just remove that for now, is I actually have to drop it on an empty slot, precisely, instead of just putting it wherever. But we will... Ooh, wow. Ooh, and you can do all your modules here. Oh, and they got... Okay, we'll get into modules in a second. I'm just going to reset my mech again, and let's look at modules. So, they've got all this stuff integrated into this layout here. We've got all of our ones. There's the status of them, whether or not they are locked or unlocked. I have unlocked every module in the game, so there are none that say locked for me, but there might be some for you that say locked. And we have all the different ones here, whether they're equipped. We have got our improved artillery strike and our improved UAV, medium laser range, and SRM-6 cooldown, all equipped there. So we can see that if we want to put on an improved airstrike, we're going to have to replace, because we can only take on one of the strike consumables at a time. So that's really cool. So we can see if we grab radar deprivation, we can drag it over the slots. So we can put it on our flashing, we can drop it into the slot. Say you want to buy it. Yes, we want to buy it. And now it shows the radar deprivation with an X. Well, at least the stop symbol, because we can only equip one of those. Not that they would do any good to equip multiple of them, but that is what's going on. So besides that, we can say drag over seismic sensor, put it in there. Awesome. So we can see here they actually show in the nice green text of what the effect is of those modules. So radar deprivation is instantly hidden. Medium laser range, 10% increase. Cooldown, 12%. Seismic sensors, 180 meters. That's excellent. We can see down here we have more of our currencies into this cart. So we can see our MC and C-bill and GXP totals before we ever want to save that design. And we can go into our weapon groups, and yeah, we'll save now. We'll buy this because it's on the test account. It's not using my actual C-bills, considering they give you 500 million C-bills to test. So definitely go crazy and set up some mechs that you wouldn't want to experiment with on the live server. Save, 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 and we can see this is the same as what's on live right now. So no changes here, at least as far as I remember. Camo spec looks like it's the same. Now this is a Phoenix mech, so you cannot change the standard camo on it, but you can change the colors, and yeah, this just looks all the same. Cockpit, which is where we get into our cockpit items, and this looks like all the same design there. So it's just the don't want the selector mech, we want the loadout. Just the loadout that is really the cool new thing. Probably want to take modules and say put them to the end after engines, because it kind of seems like all of these have a similar screen here, but then modules is the only one that changes it, so it might be at the end, you know, just cause. But I think that is really cool. I'm really looking forward for this being in the game, because it allows so much better just experimentation. Like, I can just go like, I don't want to have this in my center torso. Let's put it over here. Or I'm going to take this jump jet and put it in my CT, and you can just move things around really simply. That is the one unfortunate thing that just happened there. I had a jump jet, but then I dragged the jump jet onto another jump jet. What that did was take the one I dragged over and removed it and put the one I dragged to into its spot. But it's not what I wanted to happen. I wanted to have my 3 jump jets. I didn't want to get rid of that one. I just wanted to have like an error. You cannot put this here because it's already full. That would have been better. So there's a few things that need to be cleaned up in terms of those ease of use. But overall, you can change armor at whatever point. You can do all these things. We got a nice readout. We got Artemis. We've got AMS. We don't have BAP. We got all our stats there that we need. Overall, I'm quite impressed by this, and just a few more tweaks and cleanups, and love to see it in the game. Have been hearing some stuff and seeing a few screenshots of people who are running the game on a 4K monitor, and supposedly this does not scale very well for those monitors. I'm running the game on 1920 by 1080, and so it's working fine for me, but from my understanding is if you're on a very large monitor, that can be a problem. So hopefully some of those things will be fixed, but overall this is a great step in the right direction for the Mechlab, and hopefully they will continue to improve on it. Thank you for watching this video. Good hunting.